Hi all, this video is a continuation of special series. Let's move on to the problem. Fourth one, how many terms of the series 1q plus 2q plus 3q plus etc. should be taken to get the sum of 14,400? Fourth sum, given 1q plus 2q plus 3q plus etc. and the sum is equal to 14,400. So here we are supposed to find the value of n. How many terms? So which means terms, we denote the terms with the letter n. So to find is n. So let's see how to find the value of n with the given information. The given information is 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus etc. We don't know the value here. So we'll make it as n cube, which is equal to 14,400. Now we know 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus n cube is nothing but sum of cube numbers. So we have the formula for it, which is n into n plus 1 by 2 the whole square, which is equal to 14,400. In this case, I need to find the value of n. So what I have to do, I have to bring it to a form of an equation in terms of n. So I'll just take the square to the other side where it will become square root. So n into n plus 1 by 2, which is equal to square root of 14,400. So now this 144 is nothing but it is a square of 12. And instead of 2 zeros, when you take it out of the square root, it becomes 1 0. So n into n plus 1 by 2 is equal to 144 is the square of 12. So 12 and 2 zeros. So I'll just take 1 0. So 14,400. Square root of 14,400 is 120. I'm just teaching you in a simple way, or else you have to do long division in order to find the square root of 14,400. Now by cross multiplying, I'll get it as n into n plus 1, which is equal to 120 into 2. Now multiplying everywhere, n into n is n squared plus n into 1 is n, which is equal to 120 into 2 is 0 into 2 is 0, 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, 240. Now making it in the form of a quadratic equation, n squared plus n minus 240, which is equal to 0. Now I'm going to factorize. So since it is in a quadratic equation, you know how to factorize. You will just take this product minus 240 and split it into factors in order to get the value 1. When you add, you have to get plus 1. When you multiply, you have to get minus 240. So I'll just, since you have done the quadratic equation last year itself, I'll just factorize and I'll just tell you the value, which is nothing but 15 and 16. 15 16s are 240. So I should get plus 1. So 16 plus 16 and minus 15. So n plus 16 and n minus 15 are the factors. Now equating separately to 0, n plus 16 is equal to 0 and n minus 15 is equal to 0. Now when you take this value to the other side, n is equal to minus 16 and n is equal to 15. So now negative value is not possible because you are talking about n natural numbers. Here this is sum of n natural numbers. So this is not possible. We need to take the value of n to be 15. So we have found the value of n, which is 15. So the number of terms of the series is 15. So we'll write the answer, conclude the answer. 15 terms should be taken to get the sum 14,400. Since it's a word problem, we are just concluding it in words. 15 terms should be taken to get the sum of 14,400. Moving on to the next sum, fifth one. The sum of the squares of the first n natural numbers is 285, while the sum of the cubes is 2025. Find the value of n. Sum of the squares of the first n natural numbers is 285, which means 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus etc. plus n squared is equal to 285. While the sum of the cubes is 2025. So 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus etc. plus n cube is equal to 2025. To find, we have to find the value of n. Now how to find? Here, in both the cases, we know the formula. Sum of n square numbers and sum of n cube numbers. We do have formula for that. We'll take the simplest one, that is cube formula, to find the value of n, and then we'll just verify with the square formula. So first is 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus etc. plus n cube is equal to 2025. Now sum of n cube numbers. So the formula is n into n plus 1 by 2 the whole squared, which is equal to 2025. As usual, in order to find the value of n, we have to just take this, remove the square. So when you take the square to the other side, it becomes square root. So n into n plus 1 by 2 is equal to square root of 2025. Now 2025 is nothing but the square of 45. 45 into 45 is 2025. So n into n plus 1 by 2 is equal to 45. Now cross multiply. So n into n plus 1 is equal to 45 into 2. So n into n is n squared plus n, which is equal to 90. In order to bring it to the quadratic equation, n plus n squared plus n minus 90, which is equal to 0. Now I am going to use factorization method, where 90 can be factorized as 9 tens are 90. I need plus 1. So 10 minus 9 is 90. So the factors are plus 10 and minus 9. So n plus 10, n minus 9, which is equal to 0. Equating it separately, n plus 10 is equal to 0 and n minus 9 is equal to 0, which gives you n is equal to minus 10 and n is equal to 9. N cannot be a negative value, so minus 10 is ruled out. So the value of n is equal to 9. Now we are going to just check whether it is correct. I am going to substitute this value of n in the square formula. So they have given you that 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus etc. plus n squared is equal to 285, where we know that the formula for square n numbers is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6 is equal to 285. Here I am going to substitute the value of n. So 9 into 9 plus 1 into 2 into 9 plus 1 divided by 6 is equal to 285. So 9 into 9 plus 1 is 10. As I told you, you have to multiply and then add. So 9 2s are 18. 18 plus 1 is 19 divided by 6, which is equal to 285. So now reducing, 3 3s are 9, 3 2s are 6, then 2 1s are 2 5s are. So 3 5s are 15. 15 into 19 is nothing but 285, which is equal to your right hand side. So hence proved, just we have checked the value of n to be 9 and we have got it to be correct. So here the value of n is 9. Moving on to the last sum of the special series. Find the sum of the series 2 cube minus 1 plus 4 cube minus 3 cube plus 6 cube minus 5 cube plus etc. to, there are two subdivisions to find, which is n terms and 8 terms. There is a correction in this problem, girls. They have given you 15 cube. It is not 15 cube, but it is 5 cube. Solution. First let's write the given information. 2 cube minus 1. 1 is nothing but which can be written as 1 cube also. So 1 cube plus 4 cube minus 3 cube plus 6 cube minus 5 cube plus etc. We'll take till n terms. Now I'm going to split this into 2. I'm going to take all the first terms together and then the second terms. So the first terms are 2 cube plus 4 cube plus 6 cube plus etc. plus n cube. And all the second terms as a minus sign. I'm going to remove that minus common outside and then write the remaining terms with plus. So which is 1 cube plus 3 cube plus 5 cube plus etc. up to where you could see all these are odd numbers. So the last term, it will be in the form of 2n minus 1 the whole cube. Here all these numbers are even numbers. So your last number n will be in the form of 2n the whole cube. 2n the whole cube. Now let's start. So you could see that the last number is 2n cube and here it is 2n minus 1 the whole cube. This sum we are not going to use the formula which we used so far. We are just going to do this in a different way. Okay. So here all this is in the form of summation. Plus means it is nothing but summation. So here we are going to take it as it is sum up to n terms, that is 1 to n for even numbers. That is 2 cube plus 4 cube plus 6 cube plus etc. And this is summation of odd numbers 1 to n where it is 1 cube plus 3 cube plus 5 cube plus etc. So the summation of even numbers we take it to be 2n cube minus the summation of odd numbers we will take it as 2n minus 1 the whole cube. Now you could see that this is in the form of a cube minus b cube. We have to use the identity which we have learnt. A cube minus b cube. This is in the form of a cube minus b cube. Summation of. Okay. So this is in the form of a cube minus b cube and we are going to use the identity a cube minus b cube where a cube minus b cube is nothing but a minus b the whole cube plus 3 into ab into a minus b. Now we are going to apply this in the identity. So the value of a is 2n and the value of b is 2n minus 1. So a minus b the whole cube. The value of a is 2n minus of the value of b is 2n minus 1 the whole cube plus 3 into the value of a is 2n and the value of b is 2n minus 1 into a minus b. A is 2n minus of b is 2n minus 1. Now 2n, applying this minus sign within, minus 2n, minus into minus plus 1 the whole cube plus 3 2s are 6n into 2n minus 1 and the next bracket 2n minus 2n minus into minus plus 1. So here inside this bracket 2n minus 2n gets cancelled. The same way 2n minus 2n gets cancelled. The remaining here is 1. So 1 cube plus now multiplying within 6 2s are 12. N into n is n squared. Plus into minus is minus. 6n minus 1 is 6n. And here it is nothing but 1. So when you multiply any value with 1, it is going to be the same. Here actually in the first step we have written is summation of. We are finding summation of a cube minus b cube. So when you introduce the summation of here, that is 1 cube plus 12n squared minus 6n, which means the value of n is 1 to n. There are totally n terms. There are totally n terms. So 1 cube. So you'll be adding 1 how many times? Till n times. So which is nothing but n cube. So n cube is nothing but n. N how many times you multiply? That is 1 power n. So when you multiply 1 till n times, it is nothing but n. Plus summation of 12n squared minus summation of 6n. So n, this 12 has no, 12 is a constant, so we'll remove that outside. Then you'll get summation of n squared minus the same way 6 is a constant, we'll remove outside summation of n. So here n plus 12 into this summation of n squared is nothing but sum of natural numbers, squares of natural numbers. So we have to now apply the formula which you have learned for square numbers, which is nothing but n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6 minus 6 into, this is summation of n, which means sum of n natural numbers, and the formula we know to be n into n plus 1 by 2. Now we can reduce 6 ones are 6 twos are, 2 ones are 2 threes are, and then multiplying within. So n plus 2 into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 minus 3 into n is 3n into n plus 1. Now you have to multiply all these terms within. So n plus 2 into n is 2n squared plus is 2n. 2n into plus 1 is 2n. This term you have to multiply with 2n plus 1 minus 3n into n is 3n squared plus into minus 3n into 1 is 3n. So n plus 2n squared plus 2n into 2n plus 1 minus 3n squared minus 3n. Now we have to multiply still this within. So n plus 2 twos are 4, n squared into n is n cube plus 2n squared into 1 is 2n squared. Then when you multiply the next term, 2n into 2n is plus 2 twos are 4, n into n is n squared plus 2n into 1 is 2n. Now minus 3n squared minus 3n. Now clubbing all the terms, where you have only one cube term, which is 4n cube, and square terms you could see 2n squared plus 4n squared minus 3n squared. There are 3 terms. So 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 minus 3 is 3. So plus 3n squared. Then you have n terms. Here you have one n, here you have 2n, and here minus 3n. n plus 2n is 3n, 3n minus 3n is 0. So these 3 terms gets cancelled. It is n plus 2n is 3n, 3n minus 3n is 0. So they get cancelled. We have finally 4n cube plus 3n squared. So this is the sum up to n terms. Equation for the sum up to n terms. First subdivision, we have to find sum up to n terms, and this is the formula, which is 4n cube plus 3n squared. Now in the second case, we have to find up to 8 terms. 8 terms in the sense the value of n is 8 here. So in the place of n, we are going to substitute 8. So 4 into 8 cube plus 3 into 8 squared. 4 into 8 cubes. 8 cube is 8 8s are 64. 64 8s are 512. Plus 3 into 8 8s are 64. Now 4 into 512 is 2048. 4 2s are 8, 1 4s are 4, 4 5s are 20. Plus 3 into 64. 3 4s are 12, 2 carry 1, 18, 19. So 192. So when you add these two, 10, which is 0 carry 1, 14, then carry 1, 2 and 2. So it is 2240. When the value of n is 8, then the summation is 2240. So we have found the 2 subdivision which has been asked, where n terms is equal to 4n cube plus 3n squared, and The summation up to 8 terms is 2240.